And hello, everybody. And if it's Wednesday night and 8 o'clock, it means it's time for the NC Preps Live Preps Report. We've got the crew here. Well, most of the crew anyway. Joined here, of course, by Dina and Tali and Chelsea and Brianna and Jack. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Going good.
What about you, Jack? You're on mute.
Yeah, I was on mute, but I unmuted myself. I'm doing good.
Well, Jack, last week we were talking about you were going to run the show. Are you ready to step up to the plate tonight? Put you on the spot?
Maybe give me a couple more weeks. You know, I need a few more weeks to prepare.
I don't think you do. I think you're pretty quick witted and can go with the flow. What do you think, Dina?
Yeah, he's got his own shows, so he's got plenty of practice. So he's getting there.
Well, Friday night we've got our first week of games coming up across the state. Tali, I know that you're going south of the border to see your brother play down at River Bluff High School for a JV game. And Jack, I know that you're going to go see Parrott Academy in Kinston. Any of you other guys, Brianna, Chelsea, what are your plans this weekend?
I need to find what private schools in Raleigh are playing. I know for sure head to some.
Yeah, I know that Daniel and Seneca are playing each other, which is a big rivalry game, but that's in South Carolina. But I've got some family coming up to visit, so I'll be with them all weekend.
And Dina, we've got a big another round 2 of our VTO camps coming up Sunday up at Asheville High School. I imagine that you'll be there bright and early.
Yes, I've real anxious to go up there. I've got several coaches that I've never met before, and they've reached out and they're real excited. Coach Radford at Asheville has been really great, and I'm looking forward to going up and see some great football players up there in the mountains and see that beautiful stadium there in Asheville.
It is one of the best in the state, Asheville's Memorial Stadium. I mean, it's unbelievably nice just and how it's situated on top of a mountain, yet it kind of inside a bowl, and you got the view of the mountains on one side and the 100-some-year-old school on the other. I mean, it's certainly one of a kind.
And that's one, I mean, I've only seen it on your stadium project, so I'm looking forward to see it in person now.
Well, I promise you it will not disappoint. Talking about not disappointing, all 4 of you guys have put forth some really good videos this week. Jack, we're going to start with you to kind of kick things off tonight. What do you think? Who tell everybody who you talked to and kind of give everybody a breakdown of the video before we press start.
So when I first started kind of getting into high school basketball last year, and the first big tournament that I went to was the John Wall. And one of the teams that I got to watch play was Durham Academy. And I really loved watching them play because their star player, MJ Rice, was actually out with a hurt knee. So they were trying to figure out how to play without their star player, trying to play some team basketball. And one of my favorite players to watch play was their point guard, Nick Graves. I thought he ran the team really well, and when I heard that he was transferring to Greensboro Day, I thought it was a good opportunity to kind of get his view on why he went and why people should consider Greensboro Day to be one of, or not even, the best teams in the state this year. So I talked to Nick Graves, and I thought it was a good interview.
Well, let's go ahead and play that. But before we do, and one thing that you've done exceptionally well, and I think all of you have started to do really well, especially you, Chelsea, is really go out and find players outside of your school and kind of even outside of your city, in your region for that matter. So great job for that, just going out and kind of getting outside of your comfort zone. But let's see Jack's Premier Prospects and see what he had for this week.
All right, welcome to, I think this is the 5th week of Premier Prospects for the NC Prep Show. I'm here with Greensboro Day point guard, class of 2022, Nick Graves. He recently transferred from Durham Academy to Greensboro Day. So, Nick, I just want to talk about what did you see some of the benefits were transferring to Greensboro Day?
Well, first of all, when I made the transfer, the first thing I looked at was the coach, Coach Johnson's legacy, and just the stories I've heard about him. I can tell he really gets his players into college, and he knows how to coach. He knows how to coach um, in preparation for the next level, and that was one of the main things that made me transfer to Greensboro Day.
Gotcha. And my next question actually is about Freddie. You said you've heard stories about him. I'm sure since being in the program and being at Greensboro Day, you got to meet him in person. What were some of the first impressions that you got from Coach Freddie?
He's actually a really nice guy, on and off the court. He's always around during the school day. He'll say hello, say good morning, ask you how your first class went, things like that. He's just always active during our school days, making sure our grades are fine, getting us tutors if we need a tutor or any extra help. He'll contact people for us. So,
Gotcha. Awesome. And Greensboro Day, I mean, not just you coming in and transferring. You guys have so many other transfers coming in, building on a great team that they have coming back from last year. Why do you think people should consider one of, or maybe even the best team in North Carolina?
honestly, we have all the right pieces. Our chemistry is insane, given that a lot of us are new. And I think with Jaden Young, Michael Zanoni, Tyler Lundblad, CJ Collins, everyone else on the team, we just work so well together. We all bonded first week of workouts, all bonded together so well. So I feel like that team chemistry and that us playing together is going to be hard to beat.
Awesome. And going over to you, you're going into your junior season. Obviously going in, you have team goals, personal goals. What are some of the goals that you've set for this upcoming season?
For the upcoming season, first of all, I want to have a season. I hope COVID doesn't stop anything. But if we do have a season, state championship, and obviously just want to win one game at a time. But ultimate goal, state championship, and even beyond that, hopefully we can go to Geico.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Very.
And last question I got here. There's so many great point guards across the state. What do you think, for somebody that's never really watched you play before, what do you think sets you apart from any other player in the state?
I think my basketball IQ. I've been around the game for so long, whether that just be watching the game or actually being on the court. I played up basically my entire life except last year. So starting last year, I played my age. And I feel like I have probably the best vision in the state.
Yeah.
I think my passing ability is pretty good. So.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Nick, we are super excited to watch you and Greensboro hopefully take the court this year. And thank you so much for doing this interview.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Great job, Jack. It seems we've lost Jack from the show. Hopefully he can get back on. But obviously a great interview, sticking to the basketball side of things, and it looks like he might be trying to get logged back in. But Chelsea, I want to go straight to you because you also stuck with basketball this week, ladies hoops.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us who you interviewed this week.
I did Mallory Haynes, and she will be a senior this year at Davidson Day, and she's also a Davidson women's basketball commit. She plays for Team Courage. She had the opportunity to work out with Team USA, and she's just a super great person and a great basketball player.
Outstanding. Well, let's go ahead and see this video, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
All right. Thank you so much for joining, and for those watching, I'll go ahead and introduce who I'm interviewing. This is Mallory Haynes, and she's from Davidson Day High School, and you are class of 2021, and you're also a Davidson women's basketball commit. So I'll go ahead and start into the questions, and my first question for you is, what can we expect from your team this senior year, and what are some of your team goals?
Definitely, first of all, we want to win another state championship. kind of play back on what happened the last 2 years. We also like really want to focus on like we have a bunch of new girls this year and we have some important leaving, so just like learning how to gel together and how to like really work together. Like
that sounds great. My second question is, now what are some of your personal goals for this upcoming season?
Just to get ready as much as I can for college and to work on creating my own shot, which is something I need to work on, and 2,000 points this year.
Wow, that's awesome. Huge accomplishment that would be. And then how would you describe your experiences and time with Team Curry and even Team USA?
Team Curry was by far the best AAU team I've ever been on. I've created like amazing friendships, and Coach Ashley is an amazing coach. I loved every single tournament that I ever had with them. Team USA was also really fun, but definitely Team Curry was like the best.
And then on the court, you know, you're described as an amazing athlete and a great player. What would you say separates you from the other players on the court and the opponents?
I shoot better contested than wide open. Abnormal, but yeah.
And then finally, can you tell us about yourself off the court and who you are other than a basketball player?
Yeah, so one of the reasons I chose Davidson, like I'm very academically focused, and one of my passions is biology. That's actually like what I went to college for. So biology, animals, all that type of stuff is like what I'm really interested in.
Well, thank you so much for joining this week's segment, and best of luck your senior season.
Hey, great job, Chelsea. And one thing I was about to say, and I've got Dina here as well. You kind of got a great niche these past couple of weeks interviewing two of the top female hoopsters in the state. And I'm really happy to see that, because I think the women's game gets far too small attention. And Dina, I know that you probably feel that way as too. And you played hoops at a high level, at the collegiate level as too. So I think this is pretty good to see what Chelsea's doing.
Yeah, just, you know, we try to get everybody, and I'm glad to see some girl hoopers and stuff. And it's going to be weird. We're going to be preparing for basketball before the football season, basically public-wise. Now, I know the private schools are starting this week, so we're going to have a busy fall, winter, and spring. But yeah, great job. I like to hear about the female basketball players in the hoop state.
Yeah.
And I do like the spotlight that you're putting on the female athletes. I think it's overdue and well deserved, and I appreciate what you're doing. I think you're doing an awesome job, and we want to keep you up doing that. What do you what's on your agenda for this upcoming week? You have any ideas about who you want to talk to?
I might want to jump back into football, find a football player. I kind of have a little list pre-made of who I want to reach out to.
Well, Chelsea, your guest from a few weeks ago, McNeil, he decided to be an Oregon Duck. So I think that was very exciting for you.
Yeah, that was a huge commitment for him, and I loved watching that, you know.
Well, we're going to go from talking about women athletes, so we'll bring up another young lady who's also going to go play collegiate ball in Georgia here this upcoming year. Tali, you had a pretty big interview, one of the best players in the nation, I know that you spoke with. Tell us who you talked to, and kind of give us your breakdown of what you thought about him.
Yeah, so I spoke to Jalen Walker. I actually spoke to him at the VTO Sports Combine a little over a week and a half ago. Jalen, he's a 4-star athlete, 18 offers so far and more coming in, 22 outside linebacker. At the camp, you know, there was a lot of talent there, but he definitely stood out even among the talented kids there. So I was really excited to speak to him. He was really well-versed and seemed like a great kid all around.
And Dina, you've seen Jalen, and he led Salisbury to a state championship last year. And I know he's got a long list of top schools. But who do you have any idea of where do you think he's leaning right now, Dina?
Well, he gave his top 10. Of course, Clemson's up there at the top. North Carolina's in there. South Carolina, several of the local area, and some of the SEC schools. But He really likes Clemson a lot. I talked to him about UNC for Tar Heel Illustrated. Of course, he thinks a lot of them with Coach Brown. But like Tali said, very, very smart kid, well versed. He thinks that great answers when you talk to him. Been around football all of his life because his dad is current coach at Catawba. So that kid's been around football most of his life. So like she said, one of the top players in the country, and he's at Salisbury, and they're hoping to have another great year and try to repeat and head to another state championship game.
And I think that last year's sophomore season was just dynamic, awesome for him. And, he did help lead the Hornets to the championship game. And I think if they go east, I think that they've got a very good chance of potentially matching back up with Shelby or maybe even a potential Burns or someone of that nature. And you mentioned him being the son of a coach. I think that he's done a great job answering the questions like you mentioned, and I think he is an extremely top pick. Obviously, the offers and the notoriety he's getting shows it. But Tali, let's go ahead and play the video and see what he's got to say.
Hello and welcome back to Time Out with Tali. I'm your host Tali Hagler here with NC Preps, and in this week's episode, I'm going to be covering 2022 outside linebacker Jalen Walker from Salisbury High School. He's a 4-star athlete with multiple Division I offers from schools all around the country.
Hey, I'm here at the VTO Sports Combine with 2022 Jalen Walker from Salisbury High School. Jalen, what are you looking to accomplish with this combine today?
Have some competitiveness. Haven't had to have football in a while, so great to come back and compete with others.
Yeah. So you said they haven't had football in a while now. What have you been doing throughout quarantine and now that you're able to get out on the field and weight room? What's your training been like?
I've been doing individual workouts, lifting as well, having a facility in my home to lift and stuff like that, just to get strength and conditioning like that. And as well, I ride my bike a lot, so endurance and conditioning as well.
Now at Salisbury High School, what is going to be your strengths this year?
We're young this year. We'll come in with a young team and be able to dominate the conference with players as well.
So I know you have a couple offers. When do you think that you're going to want to make that decision?
Probably next spring.
Next spring?
Decision time.
Okay, and with everything being moved to February, what were your initial thoughts on postponing the season?
It was all right. It was a major setback for a greater comeback, for us to be able to go and compete, get more time to just prepare for the season.
All right, well, good luck to you and Salisbury this year.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
That's all for this week's episode. Be sure to keep up with Jalen Walker and to come back next week.
And Dina's right. He does say great answers. I mean, he's very well spoken during his interviews. And Tyler, it looked like you got a photo bombed by some player back there too.
That was Albert. Yeah, I talked to him last week.
Oh, that was Albert.
That
Okay.
was Albert.
Yeah.
In her other interview she did, I think last week, and that he continues to get offers. He was offered by East Carolina just recently, and Coastal Carolina. So his offer list, Albert Red's offer list, is continuing to grow. So that's great.
And I brought Brianna on because she also was there with you during that interview and had a fun time as well at last week's VTO camp. Again, for those of you just joining us, there will be a VTO round 2 in Asheville High School Sunday morning, pretty much all day Sunday. So get there early and take in some great playing and some great talent on the field, but also an incredible view of the stadium, the mountains, and everything else. So that's pretty cool. But Brianna, who did you talk to this week?
This week I did Joshua Isaiah from Independence High School in Charlotte. He's a 2023 graduate, and he's a defensive end. So I wanted to talk to him. I interviewed him at the VTO Combine as well. So he was just someone there that caught my eye and wanted to talk to him.
Well, let's see what the young man had to say. Let's check it out.
how has COVID affected your recruitment process?
It's been hard trying to get games and get film out there on Huddle and go to camps because it's limited spots and just get my name out there.
With all the coaches out here watching, what is something that you want them to know sets you apart that no stat could ever say?
That I'm a hard worker and I go out there and make tackles in the field. That I've never stopped, even when the play ends, still going.
What, in your opinion, makes a great football player?
A great football player is a person that works hard and don't give up on the play and goes 100 all the time.
With sports delays and COVID, what have you done to prepare for today?
I've been lifting, working out with our 707 team, just lifting.
What are 3 words to describe yourself as an athlete?
Outgoing, hardworking, and tough.
And what's the best advice you've ever received from somebody?
From my head coach, he said stay motivated, stay humble. My first game I played good, just keep your head.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, I like the video clip there in the end. It looks like we lost someone. It looks like we're out. Jack has left us again, but that's okay. And we're here, and now it looks like Jack is back. But again, for you guys that are here, we also lost Jack Pamucci, who I guess he's taking the night off. I know he had some SAT stuff or SAT prep coming up, so hopefully we can get him back in the coming weeks. But guys, I want to say you guys did a great job. Dina, these guys continue to just outdo themselves each week. And I can certainly see the trend of their confidence level, but also just the content and their interview skills getting better and better.
Yeah, we talked earlier about it because, the first week they did, I'm the same way. It took me a while to get used to being on camera and getting used to asking the questions. And, I know sometimes you have questions in mind you want to ask, and sometimes the kid will give you an answer and you have to maybe piggyback a little bit more on his answer and get a little bit more. So wonderful job. And, I was tickled with Tali and Brianna there at the showcase. They had some good questions and got some good answers, and I can't wait till Chelsea and Jack, they're able to attend one as well.
Yeah, I think that will help them tremendously. And it'd be cool for Jack getting out to the game this week with Parrott Academy. Who are you typing to, Jack, by the way? I can hear your keyboard going from here.
Yeah, I'm excited.
He's probably, he is Mr. Instagram. He's always putting stuff on the social media. And, there's been a lot of going on this week. Down at Millbrook High School, Diego Pounds, offensive lineman, he's supposed to make his decision on Friday afternoon. And there's been some more offers go out to kids, basketball and football statewide. So, yeah, exciting time for a lot of kids in the state, despite what's going on, with the pandemic and stuff. So it's some very positive news.
Yeah.
Well, good deal. We don't have a featured guest this week.
Brianna Pass is actually committing.
Say that again, Jack. I think I heard you.
Brianna.
I think he was meaning.
Can you hear me?
You're kind of in and out. It looks like you're struggling from some of the same internet troubles I've been dealing with tonight.
He was saying Brianna Pass is making his decision on Saturday. Football, basketball standout from Reidsville. So he's going to make his college choice on Saturday, too.
Cool. And we're not going to be able to see a whole lot. We got some football on the schedule, at least ACC-wise this week. Got a few games coming up. But it looks like we're starting to see some games get postponed and some games get canceled. Are you guys worried with the state of the COVID if we're going to be able to finish this college season? Because every week it seems like someone's getting postponed or someone's got concerns.
Yeah, I'm not only worried about college season getting canceled, but just us being so late starting in February. If that trend continues, us not starting, not doing the season at all. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, same here, especially football season being like towards the end,
I would
beginning
say
of flu season. It's kind of scary to see what they're going to do.
I think
It looks like we was about to get one of you. Jack, were you trying to chime in?
okay. My mic has been, my internet has been really weird. So can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is my mic being weird?
You're good. You can start.
Okay. 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 I was gonna say, I think with the SEC starting this week, and then the Big Ten announced that they're going to be coming in a few more weeks. I think college football is kind of like where they're going head first into it, and if it crashes and burns, then it's going to crash and burn pretty hard. So I think the worst case scenario would probably be like a whole team getting it and a bunch of them getting sick, but I don't really see that happening. I know like teams like UNC Charlotte obviously had to cancel their game against UNC, and Notre Dame had to reschedule just because of that. But if they can keep it contained to each team by themselves, then I think the college football season can keep going.
And Tali, have you noticed any at your school? You know, you're still going to school a couple of days a week, and Brianna, you as well, and you both can answer this question. Has there been like any guys showing up, going home sick, or maybe somebody just not showing up all of a sudden who ended up getting sick, or does the fear or the threat of the virus not seem to be that significant inside the school?
So when we first went, I'm going to be honest, I expected us to be there 2 weeks maybe and then get sent back home. And initially, I think we maybe had 1 or 2 cases in the district, maybe one in like an elementary school and one elsewhere in the district. But other than that, nothing in the past couple of weeks. I felt really safe at school. I haven't had a problem, and I do enjoy going to school. So I think that the school setting is fine as of right now. Now, I don't know about the elementary schools. Now they're going back 5 days a week. We'll see how that goes. And maybe if that trend is good, then high schools, middle schools can go back to normal. And if not, we just reevaluate and go from there.
Yeah, I think the procedures at our school, they're pretty good about you can't get out of the car until your temperature's taken, and if you have a high fever, like you go home right then. So no one really enters the building. But we have had 3 cases at North Lincoln in the past couple weeks. But the way they've handled it has been pretty good, and I don't think anyone's really scared. It's just something that's happening, and the precautions that they're taking are beyond like what I expected. So I think everything's fine, really.
And Chelsea, I know you're stuck at home still with your schooling.
Yeah.
Are you anxious to get back in the building, or are you happy with the virtual setting?
I've gotten used to virtual, but I would love to get back to normal. And Wake County just today announced that late November, mid-November, we're planning to go back, but we'll be on a 3-week schedule. So I don't really know how that will look, but it's something.
All right. Well, it looks like we just lost Jack again. Bye, Jack. We'll see you next week. Jack, just kind of catch everybody up. Jack will be covering the Parrott Academy game on Friday, so we're anxious to get his take on that game and hopefully see some live videos, some highlights. I think that'd be really cool to Spice to show up next week. Might have some maybe from South Carolina, although we really don't cover South Carolina, but what the heck? I know we just want to see action. So we might talk about that as well. But Dina, as always, try to give you the last word and anything out there on the news or on your mind you want to share with everybody.
Everybody keep doing what they're doing. You know, just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and hopefully we'll have some more great content next week. Like I said, I'll be up in Asheville this on Sunday. Probably I'll have some feature stories on the website NC Preps. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram, and just any kids that see this, reach out to us. You got any offers? Jack's the Instagram king. He loves making those graphics. So just want to thank everybody. Thank everybody that's on tonight. Thank you, Chris, for running the switchboard again. Thank you.
All right, guys, it's been great. 30-minute show. I think that's a good time too, as well. It keeps it short, keeps it compact. So we'll try to keep working on that. But Tali and Brianna and Chelsea, you're the only three left tonight. But I appreciate all the hard work, and like Dina said, thank y'all.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Again, for another week here at the NC Preps Live, the Preps Report for Dina and the whole crew. Thanks for joining us. And like she said, follow us on our social media platforms, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye, y'all.
All right, guys. Hey, that was great. They got out quick.